Hey guys, glad you stopped in. Today we're going to do a chicken stew. It has been very fall-like the last few days and I am loving it. And I ran across this recipe for a chicken stew that just sounded, it was fitting. It sounds delightful, it sounds like it's got a ton of flavor. I don't think it's going to disappoint at all. It's just going to be amazing. And like I said, with it being very fall-like out, I know it's not going to last very long, few days, and then it's going to be back up in the 90s for a few days, and then God knows what after that. But fall is just around the corner, and I'm ready to celebrate early. So, chicken stew, carrots, it's celery, it's potatoes, it's chicken breasts, it's or chicken thighs, depending on your liking, or both. It's got a really good broth base with some thyme and rosemary and chicken broth. It just sounds amazing, and I think we're really going to enjoy this one. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you don't want to listen to the intro, skip to about the 3-minute mark. I'll let you know for sure right about here. If you're returning or one of our new subscribers, welcome back and thank you. We've been growing and I'm digging it. And as some of you may know, especially those who've been following me for a while, I am down to a couple days a week at the pizza shop managing, and this and my made-to-order bakery has pretty much become my life. You guys have become my support line, and that's awesome. You guys are making that possible. And I'm not gonna lie, the struggle is still very real for some of it, but that's okay. That's okay. But moving on, if you do like what you are seeing, maybe you should consider subscribing if you haven't already. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comments, always welcome. I respond to all of them. Good, bad, or indifferent. With comments, all I ask is you be nice. Think before you type. It's okay to disagree with me. Just do it in a civil manner. And for those that are new, or this might be your first video, you don't have to tell me I talk too much in the beginning. I already know that. It's part of my channel. So that being said, and all that out of the way, why don't we get down here to the counter and we'll start assembling this crockpot dish, because we're not just going to dump everything in the crockpot this time. We actually got to cook something first. All right, hold on for me just 1 second. Okay, we're down here at the counter. First thing we need, only things you'll need, one skillet, because we're gonna braise our chicken. Right, we're gonna give it a nice brown color. We don't have to cook it all the way through, but I've got about 1.5 pounds of chicken here, and I've got breasts. I don't have any thighs at the moment, but all I did was just kind of cut it up into 1-inch pieces, so that way we can get it going. But first thing we need to do in our pan, I got 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and you don't have to use a high-end olive oil, just a good olive oil. We want to get that little bit of flavor in there. We're going to put it in there, and we're going to start heating up our oil. While that's heating up, we are going to take our chicken and we're going to add some salt and some pepper to it. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon's worth of salt in there. You want a liberal amount, because what that's going to do is tenderize it as it sits. So, and we're going to let it sit, and I'm going to put about a tablespoon's worth of pepper in there also. And then just give it a good mixing up, just like such. And then we're going to let our oil heat up, so that way we can go ahead and get this seared. Alright, we're starting to smoke and dance a little, so we'll go ahead and we're just going to get our chicken in here. And if it doesn't, don't overcrowd your pan. That's not the best thing to have happen. So if it takes 2 times or 2 batches, most certainly will. But like I said, we're not going to cook this all the way through. We're just going to simply get it seared, give it a nice brown look on the sides. All right, so we got our chicken nice and golden in color. Got it brown. See, we got some nice brown look to it. We got it seared. So that is the only thing we're actually going to have to cook, so to speak. We're going to let the crock pot do the rest. So we'll go ahead and get that out of there. Shut our stove top off so we don't burn ourselves. And now we got to add a few things to this, right? So we're going to add, let me get you over here so you can see just a hair better. There we go. Now we got our chicken in here. We're going to add 3 tablespoons, which is 45 grams of flour. Now I'll give you a, I want to say it's 0.5 or 454 kilos of chicken. Between that and 0.6 kilos of chicken, pound and a half of chicken. But 3 tablespoons, 45 grams of flour is what we need to put in here. And if I forget any gram or milliliter measurements, I'll be sure to put them down in the description below. And then we are going to add 1 tablespoon, about 8 grams worth of thyme. We're going to add 1 tablespoon, about 8 grams worth of, actually it might be closer to 5 grams of rosemary. But you can add as much or as little as you want to this. And then we are going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. And this, at least in my case, will be the last of the salt, but we're going to check it again at the end for salt and pepper. So we got those 3 things in there. And then we are going to take our spoon, give this a good stir. Make sure that flour and the herbs get on all the chicken. And I can tell you already, the kitchen smells amazing. Just absolutely amazing. So now that we've got that coated and covered, and I've got juices in there from the chicken already, so the flour looks like it's disappeared. To this, we are going to add, yes, 6 cloves of minced garlic right here. And I press mine, I don't mince it. I have a real issue with the fact garlic gets sticky. I don't know why. I put my hands in raw food all the time, but something about minced garlic really just makes me crazy. And then I am going to add 2 stalks of chopped carrots. Go ahead and get those thrown in there. 1 medium onion, diced. And this is largely diced, but they're diced. Once again, as much as a little, whatever size you like is what you need to put in it. And then I've got 3 carrots, medium-sized carrots, and I just cut them into slices. Another thing I like about this, gives you a chance to clean out your vegetable drawer, which I think is awesome. And then I've got 1 pound of potatoes, which I'm using red potatoes. You can use russets, you can use golden, whatever potato you like, you use. But I've got them cut into about 1/2-inch cubes, just like such. I'm using red potatoes. If you're using red or like Yukon Gold or something like that, you don't have to necessarily peel them unless you want to. You don't have to peel your russets if you don't want to. But you can peel them. That's always an option. I don't peel mine. All the nutritional value is in the skin, so I don't want to lose that. And then the last couple things we need to add, or the last thing I think we need to add, is 3 cups worth of chicken broth. Now I use my own chicken broth that I make here at the house, and but you can use store-bought. There's nothing wrong with that. If you do, it's just one of the smaller containers, about one of the smaller containers of chicken broth. It actually comes in 4-cup and 8-cup packages, at least around here it does. And so you'll want to buy just one of the small quarts. And then that way, you may not necessarily have a quart left or a cup left over in that jug, because we'll have to check it for thickness, thinness at the end. So now that we've got all that stuff in there, all we have to do is put the lid on. And we have a couple options on how long we want to cook this for. We can cook it low and slow, which is what I'm going to do. So I'll go ahead and turn it on. We'll get it on low, and I'm going to put this on, if you're going to cook it on low, 7-8 hours. And you have the option of cooking it on high in your slow cooker. And if that's the case, 4 to 5 hours. And then you'll want to check for doneness. So when I come back, we've still got like 2 or 3 more ingredients that we put in here. Oh, forgot an ingredient. Something special. If you have large bay leaves, 1 bay leaf, I have 2 small bay leaves, which equals, in my mind, 1 large bay leaf. Get that in there. Now we're gonna let this cook down, and then when I come back, we can put the last few ingredients in at the tail end of it and try some. All right, I'll see you here in a second. Okay, so within about 7.5 hours, and our chicken's looking done through the window, but we're gonna give it a good stir either way it goes and add our last two ingredients. The whole house smells amazing, just amazing. I can't even tell you, and this looks absolutely phenomenal as it stands. Ugh. I think it looks great. It smells amazing. One thing I am going to do real quick, I'm going to take these bay leaves out while I'm thinking about it. Bay leaves, if you are new to bay leaves, which you might be, I don't know. You know, everybody has a first time, right? You don't want to eat these. They're not poisonous, they're not dangerous. Well, I mean, they're kind of dangerous, but they don't, your stomach can't process them. So, and those sharp edges can do bad things. So, that being said, all right, so the next thing we want to do to our chicken stew is I've got 1 cup of frozen peas, and they're still frozen. Still see the crystals and everything on them. We're going to throw that in there. Like such. You don't want to add those in early because peas are what I call sensitive food, and if you put those in the beginning, you won't have any peas left. You'll have mush and you'll have a green base for your chicken stew. Last ingredient, half a cup of milk, a vitamin D milk. You could probably even use a half and half if you'd like, but vitamin D I think is good enough for me. You know, we don't want to make this too unhealthy. You know, right now we're looking at just vegetables, spices, and chicken. It's actually fairly healthy. So what we're going to do now is let this go for about 10-15 minutes. I'll put the lid back on it. I won't lock it down or anything, but we're going to let it go about 10-15 minutes, give that a chance to get in there and do its thing. And then we'll check it for thickness. If we think it's too thick, we'll add a little more chicken broth. If we think it's too thin, we can add a little more flour. Either way it goes. But I'll see you here in about 10-15 minutes. We'll take a look at it and give it a try. All right, see you here in a second. Oh, okay, ladies and germs, we are done. I personally don't think this needs anything else at all. But isn't that just so pretty? I don't know how well you can see it really, but that's all right. I'm about to plate it up. So let's go ahead and get some of this plated up. All right. You know, if anything, I would think it maybe just needs just a little more broth added to it. You know, for the most part, but that being said, I think it looks just absolutely stupendous. Right there we are. And the whole house smells just divine. So now, all we have to do is try some. I mean, really. I'm gonna kick the lid on there. I did taste for salt and pepper. It needed absolutely none, which I kind of figured would be the case. Let me get you up here a little higher. There we are. I kind of figured that would be the case based on the fact that we salted the chicken pretty heavy and we put a little salt in with that. Now, my broth doesn't come with salt, so I don't make it with salt. I'm not a salt person, as some of you may know, but that's perfect all the same. So we're gonna go ahead. I want to try this chicken and some of the corn some of the carrots and the onion, and just can't wait. Let me tell you what, that's like art. That's beautiful. Yeah. That chicken is so tender. So tender. And everything else is just not mush. Which was one of my fears going 8 hours. But you want that to give it a chance for everything to really, those flavors to really combine and enhance themselves. But that nothing is mushy. That is awesome. And you can taste every bit of flavor in that. I highly recommend this. That is really good. It takes no time to throw it together, and you don't have to sear the chicken in the pan before you put it in there. You can just cut it up, put it in raw, and walk away. That just gave it another level of flavor is all. So don't think you have to do that. You could literally just put all that in, walk away from it for 8 hours, go to work, go work outside in the yard, go do your shopping, errands, whatever. That's a good fall dish, or summer dish for that matter. It's not like it heated up the kitchen a whole lot by any means. So give this a try. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, or if you do something similar. I would be curious to hear. So tomorrow we are going to do a ginger snap crumble pear pie. I know that's a lot to take in, right? This pie is going to be delicious. I can just see it in my head. When I saw the recipe for it, it popped up in one of my feeds, or I was strumming through a feed, and it was one of the check these out things. And I thought, oh my goodness, ginger snap cookies. I haven't had one in forever. And the thought of making like a kind of crumble crisp style topping to go on top of a pear pie with that sounded delightful. So we're gonna find out, right? I hope so. Make sure you turn it in tomorrow, hands down. But give this a try all the same. You can leave me a comment down below. Find me on Facebook. We have a group page that goes on over there, although I will be honest, I'm not always real good about jumping on there, see what's going on, but I do post on occasion. I do try to get on social media at least once, twice a week, kind of keep and see what's going on. All the same, or I mean, just find me on Facebook. It's Brian Smith, Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Leave me a comment there. You can leave me a comment anywhere. You can get on my website, MrSmithsKitchen.com. Email me, all kinds of good stuff there. But that being said, give this a try. Let me know if you do. So till tomorrow, prepare ginger snap crumble pear pie. I love you. I love you very much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else that you love them and love them very much. It's going to make them smile. They may need to hear it. You never know. It's going to make you smile and feel good either way. And if you make some of this chicken stew, I guarantee it's going to put a smile on everybody's face. There'll be enough there. You could probably invite the neighbors over, a couple close friends. Slice up some fresh French bread and have it with it. And maybe a good drink, adult beverage or otherwise, depending on who you are and where you're at. So, till tomorrow, I love you, and I'll see you then. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.